All right, Black Tree TV, I have a special treat for you today because I know you guys are used to me being on the red carpet, talking to all the entertainers, but today we're about to talk about that business. I'm about to show you somebody that could talk to you about entrepreneurship, chasing those dreams, and how to succeed in this crazy world of business. And the ultimate dream chaser, we all talk about being rich by the time we're 30, but I'm sitting next to somebody that actually did it. How you doing, Freddie?
Good, sir. How are you doing?
And it's an honor to be here with you, and I mean I'm a little jealous because I wanted to be rich at 30, man, and I'm still chasing it. I know you're still chasing it, but I mean just to hear parts of your story, it's inspirational, and I want to know more, and I know my viewers want to know more. So can you tell us, how did you get started? How did this Figurescom communication? Where did it start? Did it start in your garage, or a dream? Were you breaking down computers? Like, where did this all start?
I started from the very beginning of my childhood. My father, at the age of 8 years old, took me to Goodwill and bought me an old Macintosh for $25. At that time, the computer didn't work. So we took the computer home. I played with it about 10 to 15 times, took it apart, took some old components from my father's radio, put them inside the computer, and it worked.
Wow. So you like the first Genius bar for Apple, really?
Well, I had a passion for technology ever since I was a child, so that passion drove that innovation.
I mean, obviously, taking you to the Goodwill and getting that computer was a great start. But how did your family kind of feed that dream? How did they continue to feed that dream and help you like chase this?
Well, it goes back to my birth. Honestly, I'm not even supposed to be here. When I was born, my biological mother threw me out like day-to-day trash. So I never met my biological family. My biological mother threw me away. And I was adopted by an older couple, which were the best parents in the world, that was going into their 70s. So when you think about parents, when you think about families going into their 70 years old, they're thinking about grandkids and great-grandkids, not adopting a newborn baby. So my father was not physically able to take me outside to play football or baseball with me. So he wanted to keep me out of trouble, but he took me to go get that computer. And with that computer, that became my best friend, and that passion for technology drove and created to everything that we have today.
I mean, chasing dreams is hard for everybody, whether they're doing athletics or, in your case, business and technology. It must have got hard at some point, and you wanted to quit. Like, what helped you to keep fueling that and keep going when things might not have been looking as promising as they are today?
I've always looked at, winners never quit and quitters never win. And it's been times that it's been very tough. For example, one of our first cell phone towers, when I first began, I took all of my software income and built this cell phone tower, built this entire network infrastructure, and lightning hit it and destroyed.
Like literally.
Yeah, literally destroyed nearly $800,000 worth of equipment. And during that time, insurance did not want to cover it, so I was out of the pocket over $800,000, and I literally had to rebuild my infrastructure in a very rural area. And in stating that, other carriers, such as the bigger names, they had the same problems, but since I was a very smaller and minority company, I was chastised the most.
Because you're one of the only, if not the only, black-owned telecom company in the U.S., I'm guessing, right?
That is correct. So Figurescom provides cellular service, mobile broadband service, and international calling services. Not only do we provide the cell phone service and all of the other services, but we manufacture consumer electronics such as earbuds, wireless speakers, televisions, and cell phones. So when you think about a carrier today, they only provide the cellular service. They don't manufacture the hardware. So we capitalize on both ends, from the service and the hardware peripheral, bringing those both together.
What was it about telecom? Because, I mean, as a young scientist, young inventor, you could have got into biotech, renewable energies, so many other fields of science and technology you could have got into. Like, what was it about telecommunications that made you kind of pivot that direction?
I come from a very rural area. So the area that I come from is where it was overlooked by the bigger telecommunications companies. So they was not interested in coming in, setting up a new infrastructure to build out. So we were able to petition that and apply for the FCC to provide and service those rural
So it's real interesting, and I'm curious because I mean, as a young scientist, young inventor, you could have started in biotechnologies, renewable energy, so many different phases of science and tech. What was it about telecommunications that made you decide to pivot in that direction?
It's very simple. It goes back to my childhood. Everything that I've ever built has been to service people and technology to help others. The community that I'm from is very rural, and other carriers, such as the big name carriers, was not interested in servicing those smaller communities. And that gave us an opportunity to come in to petition and apply for an FCC spectrum license to service those underdeveloped areas.
As a only African American owned telecom, is there any? Because I know that we see moguls like Byron Allen speak about media and how there's not equal spending and fair spending. Was there anything that was allotted to you as a minority member to be able to get any type of head start in telecom since we weren't represented there? Was there?
No. What really gave us the key advantage is to show that those rural areas was underserviced and they was undeveloped. Again, you could go through nowhere USA and you wouldn't have cellular service. So that gave us the strength to petition and start our WiMAX company. So when we first started out, we started providing only data services, so point to multi-point connections. And in saying that, capitalizing, no, we bootstrapped everything from day one.
I mean that's an amazing story. So tell me about your core products. Cell phones, cellular service, and cell phones are definitely one of them. What's your other core products at Figurescom?
We have signature Figures wireless F buds, and the F buds are earbuds that have auto translation. I've built in 96 languages inside of those devices. So when it's connected to the Figures F3, if someone calls you speaking French, Spanish, it'll automatically translate into English.
Okay. That's amazing in itself. I travel a lot. I found myself 2 months ago in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and Portuguese is a real tough language to do a quick study on. So I mean, that's amazing technology. You'd be able to have a translator in your ear to kind of like get through it.
And we have several other products as well. So we have one of our signature wireless speakers that has AI technology that we're building out right now, and it's a community forum. So you can say, "Hey, Figures, order me a pizza." "Hey, Figures, what's the weather?" So the same as these other AI forums that you see at home, we have our own. And this wireless speaker is waterproof, and it has AI charging capabilities as well.
These are some amazing. See, I'm a techie, so they got the wrong person on this interview because it's not like I don't know what he's talking about. All these things he's talking about, like that's the real deal. So I mean, people gonna. I know a lot of people in our community would love to support, a black owned cell phone. But what I mean, you told me some of the things about the F bud, but why would somebody put down their Samsung, put down their Google phone or iPhone to pick up a Figures? Like, tell us about that device. What's cool?
Our Figures phone is a signature product. So our Figures phone has capabilities such as multi-user profile. That means that I can actually hand you my phone, sign out, and sign into a guest profile. The average person has an iPhone or a Samsung. When they type in their password, I can go through their text messages, their pictures, all their personal content. With a Figures phone, you have complete privacy, and it's two phones on one phone with dual SIM capabilities and 5G capabilities. And we also offer 1 terabit of storage, so you have unlimited photo space.
Wow. I mean, how can I get me a Figgers phone? I know y'all wondering. It. I'll plug y'all in before the end of this interview on how y'all can get down with this. But so how's the support been? Because I know like even recently we was talking earlier that I spoke about a lot of the lack of support and support that black media gets, but some of the challenges that we get dealing with some of our own celebrities. Like, how has the support been from the business community? There's black billionaires. There's Robert S. Smith, Bob Johnson, Dr. Dre, who also made somebody off of earbuds. Has that community welcomed you at all? Have you found any like inertia dealing with any of them, or have you just felt kind of solo?
Honestly, no. There's haven't been any support, and that was one reason why that we didn't seek investors. And I funded everything myself through software, peripheral, and other inventions that I sold previously. It has been a challenge of getting the support from our community, but again, it's a process.
What happens when Sam's? Because you're the only black telecom company in America, but what happens when one of these big mainstream companies that's been worldwide sees your technology and wants to buy into your technology and writes the big check? I mean, is it just? What happens at that point? Or are you gonna sell this company at some point? Or
No, I believe in people over profit, and I believe in keeping this as a passion. When I first started Figures Communication, that was my passion, and I'm not going to sell my passion. It's been multiple offers on the table from our healthcare company to the telecommunication space, but I haven't sold, and I'm not planning on selling.
Tell me about the supply chain, because I know this is great to have these devices, but the components. Are you able to find black manufacturers of the chips or the plastics or whatever components that you've been needing to create these products?
Correct. So about 70% of our supply chain that manufactures the F3 are minority-owned corporations. About 50% of those are domestic. 30% are international.
Do you feel like internationally, I mean, because the continent of Africa is exploding with a lot of economic opportunities and technology, you feel like internationally we get it more as a diaspora community overseas than we do here as far as getting involved in tech and stuff? Is it something that you like to see more of our youth kind of gravitate to?
Correct. So right now, a little secret is we're planning on building an assembly facility in Ghana. Certain representatives from Ghana want to distribute our phones, one of our larger carriers there. But instead of building the phones here in the U.S. and exporting from the U.S. to Ghana, we're not going to bleed the country for their resources. So we're going to build an assembly plant there and assemble and manufacture the phones.
So this is what I'm talking about. I like where your head is. I mean, I love your products. What you've told me about the products is amazing. But I like how it seems like you put a lot of thought into this whole movement of what, if you don't mind me calling it a movement, of what you're doing with these products and moving forward. How could, just as a community outside of your company, how could we be better as a community just of fostering economic empowerment within our community?
It's about supporting each other. The best way to help someone, the best way to reach your potential is to help someone else reach their potential. And it's all about community support. I mean, we have other ethnicities that support each other and become $1 billion company overnight. Some in our community have achieved that goal, but others haven't. So, again, it's about coming together and working together.
You got to tell me the story behind this shoe, because I'm looking at a dirty Nike back there, and I'm looking at all these great products out here. I'm like, why is this Nike back here? So what's the story behind this tennis shoe right here?
So my father had dementia, Alzheimer's, and some mornings he would start sundowning. So in his normal state, he couldn't walk from here to the door. But when he was sundowning, he would walk for 10, 12 miles. And some days he would forget to put on his shirt, his pants. He would just leave home and say, hey, I'm going away from my dad. I had to be able to figure out a solution to protect my father. And that's when I came up with the chipset to put inside of his shoe, because he never forgot to put on his shoes. So this chipset that I built has GPS capabilities. So as soon as he wanders off, I can see how many steps he's taken. I can see exactly if he's standing up or sitting down. I can see exactly where he is. With the GPS capabilities, I put a 90 hertz speaker inside of the shoe and a microphone chipset. So I could come in on my phone and say, hey, Dad, where are you? And he would say, hey, where are you? I would say, just Dad, just talking to your shoe. As soon as he speaks into his shoe, it would automatically pop up on my phone, and I can see exactly where he is, jump in the car, go pick him up, take him back home. This shoe right here, this invention behind this, the patent that I own, was the precursors of Life Alert and smart dog collars, such as medical alert response systems.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking that when you said, I was like, man, that sounds like what Life Alert would do.
Correct.
So are they using this product now in shoes?
That is correct. So they're using that product right now into their own dynamic system, so such as wristbands, watches, and neck bracelets.
Okay. So where does this come in on your invention level? Like, when did you do this invention compared to when you started the telecom? Was this early on, or?
Yes, this is when I was turning 18 years old.
Wow. So with all this knowledge of science and everything, I mean, what was the education? Did you go to college for this, and like, how did you perfect this? Did you enroll in college for this?
I sat inside of a classroom for about 2 weeks, and I listened to a professor teach about things that I already knew, because again, I've had work experience, so that day-to-day experience ever since I was the age of 8 all the way up to 16 years old, from being a computer technician, network administrator, software engineer, to starting Figures Communication. I listened to things that he was teaching us that I already knew. And then I had an opportunity to build a software program to complete within 16 days for a lucrative amount of money. So then that drove me into the private sector, and I never went back to school.
You're in good company if you look at Jobs and Gates and Zuckerberg and all the multi-billion-dollar moguls. It seems like they cut out of school early, which is not a message for all of you guys to cut out of school early, but you got to know what your path is and when it's your time and everything.
Everyone has a destiny, and everyone has a path that they can go on. And sitting in a classroom wasn't for me, but again, we don't tell anyone not to go to school. We have the Figures Foundation that have supported over 30 plus young African-American men to go to school with different scholarship opportunities.
So how long have you been in business now? You're 30. How long has Figures Communications been the official umbrella company?
Yeah, right. Figures Communications started out in 2008, but didn't get established and started until actually 2011.
So you headed towards that 10-year anniversary of Figures Communications.
That is correct.
I'm sure you might not even be able to tell me, but are there other products on the horizon that you're ready to launch that you haven't even spoke about yet?
Correct. So we have several different other innovative lines, such as our blood diabetic management system. We have a visual diabetes system, and this is it right here. So this is a blood glucometer. As soon as you check your blood sugar, it instantly shares the results to your cell phone, shares it with your closest relative, shares it in electronic health records, and shares it with your doctor. So if you know anyone with diabetes and their blood sugar spiked or abnormally low, it would automatically send an Amber Alert notification to everyone that's on that list. Also, it would also drive the provider to pick up the phone to call you. If the doctor calls you and you don't answer the phone, that's not a problem. The same technology I put into my father's shoe, I put inside this glucometer, which has a direct connection, two-way communicator. So the doctor then would come in and say, hey, I need to schedule an appointment. You would answer your glucometer and say, okay. Then a 5-digit code before the session ends, a 5-digit code would appear on the glucometer. The doctor then would ask the patient to read them that verification code. Once they enter that verification code in their system, it verifies with the provider that they did speak with the patient. So keeping the patient and the provider intact.
It's another amazing product. I just wonder, how did you get so well rounded in it? Because these products don't necessarily. I mean, I hear what you say, like the device and the communication goes back to the shoe, but it's not exactly what the earbud is like. All your products seem to have like they're diverse in technology.
Right. Every product that we have designed, implemented, and manufactured have been for a cause. Again, I've been building technology since I was a child, and it's always been about servicing people and creating affordable technology. Every device that we have is one of the most technologically advanced devices, and all for the most affordable price.
Yeah. How many different? You have a TV also, a smart TV. With all the other stuff, it should probably be labeled the smartest TV compared with all this other stuff you're doing. What's unique about the TV?
So our television is 4K UHD. The clarity and the sharpness of this television is sharper than any television that's on the market right now. So that means that you could see a football player sweat from our television. And our television has a lithium chipset that's built inside. And what that means is every home that you have a cable service provider, that HDMI receiver box, we have that built inside of our television. So when you get a Figures TV, you can actually pop it out the box, plug it up, type in your zip code on the television, and you've got local access channels right then and there.
Again, I know technology. You guys know I know technology. I'm a biomedical engineer right here. I know what this guy's talking about. He is amazing. These products is, I mean, I need to get I need to save up some paychecks. I know it's affordable, but it's not free, and I need to get me some Figures stuff ASAP. I mean, this is not in all the stores yet. So are you doing most of your sales online or in person, or what's your distribution?
Majority of our distribution is e-commerce, so everything is online. If you order today, you'll get it within 2 to 3 days. Now, with that being said, we're not looking for major retailers because, again, we would have to change our marketing pattern and our strategy. We believe in keeping products affordable and keeping them for the people. Again, other companies and competitors have lesser quality products, but they're much more expensive. And the reason because they have to return shareholders' investment. With Figures Communication, we don't have shareholders. So we manufacture the product and deliver it to your front door at an affordable price. And all of our products, we have financing options available as well.
How can now I know that there's a lot of, like, on Facebook groups, there's a lot of black entrepreneurs and all these type of investment groups. How could the business community, or how could some of these entrepreneurs get involved with Figures, or can they get involved with Figures at this time in that way?
Of course, I would encourage everyone to support us, even from bulk ordering, from corporate ordering, to even resellers that we have. Right now, getting investments, we don't know what the future holds, but as of right now, no, we're not seeking any investors.
All right. And everybody can find this it's at figureswireless.com. Is that the hub?
It's Figures.com. That's Figgers.com.
And you said I got about earbuds coming in the mail, right?
We got you.
All right. So your corporate headquarters is in Florida.
Correct.
And if there's any, like, young students, young scientists, entrepreneurs that may want to, like, get involved with on the tech side? Like, is there a way for them to reach out to you on the website or the?
Of course, we have a think tank initiative, and that's at the Figuresfoundation.org.
I hope you're all taking all of these notes. Figuresfoundation.org, Figures.com. Get the F Buds, get the TV, get the glucometer for all of your seniors in your family and people that's dealing with those health issues. Get the phones, put down the iPhones. You know, the iPhone 10, 7, 8, 9, 6 is the same darn phone. We just keep on spending the same money, and it's not getting recycled through our community. They're not hiring us. I mean, you look in. This is one thing that bothered me. We're on Facebook more than anybody.
Correct.
We're on YouTube, and you go to these companies, and Facebook has 2.7% black employment, and Google Alphabet company has 2.4. I might be off by 0.2, but I'm not off by a number. And we do so much in technology, but we don't reap the benefits. So I'm so glad to see you, brother, like reaping the benefits of technology and leading the way for innovation to give some of these people a dream. Because just like we didn't know, or we didn't often dream of being a president or something like that before we seen it in the flesh happen with Barack. You're showing people that it's doable, that you could have a $800,000 tower. People, you lost $800,000 tower. People, just mad because they lost their phone. You know what I'm saying? So you're doing it big, and I'm so happy that you're inspiring people. You're inspiring me.
Thank you. And that's what we do. The best thing for any human being to inspire another. And what we're setting up is to become producers. Even from abroad, such as Ghana, it would be so simple for us just to send products there and distribute them. But we want to be we want to economically empower the locals to actually learn a trade, to assemble and manufacture and distribute from there.
This is the future of technology. I hope you're all taking note. This goes back to all of you guys that watched and retweeted and shared the video about the experience on the carpet. This is the same thing. We have to support each other on every levels. And when I said it was a multifaceted problem, it goes down to this. It's like how real is your wokeness? Like what are we just talking on Twitter? Are we gonna really be about it? Are we gonna go on Black Friday and spend all this money at their stores? Or are we gonna figure out? Are we gonna go to Figures.com and start making that order to get the best TV on the market in your house for a lower price and be supporting our own community? This is what we got to do.
And 20% of all our gross revenue goes to support the Figures Foundation that is multi-faceted, such as supporting young African-American males that's at risk to go to college, not a scholarship once, but a full ride, breast cancer survivors, supporting our community from different initiatives to even supporting a school in Zambia with 309 girls. So 20% of all of our gross revenue supports those organizations. And the bigger operators and manufacturers, they don't give back, nevertheless, not even pay it forward.
Yeah. Well, you're showing us the way, brother. So thank y'all for taking this business break with Black Tree TV and Freddie Figgers, and y'all just stay tuned for more. We gonna keep on following this brother and keep you up to date. This is like if this was Shark Tank and you get the update when he dropped the new products. We're gonna be hanging out. We're gonna be showing you the products, and I'm gonna be talking on my Figures phone on the red carpet to people. So y'all stay tuned and y'all keep on bringing them. We're gonna keep on sharing them with you and keep on inspiring.
And we have one product that we're gonna launch in the summer, which is a wireless inductive charger. So as soon as your Figures phones gets 5 meters within range, it automatically starts charging. There's no cords, there's no cable, there's no anything. Leave your phone in your pocket, your purse, wake up, your phone's fully charged.
Cause y'all know my phone dead now. If y'all really know me, you know I'm telling the truth. Yo, thanks, bro. This is it.